Hotel Room Podcast.
Hi guys, this is Chloe Johnson.
Arnold edition.
Arnold edition.
There's a bunch more of us that you might not hear.
Are we sure this is on?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm tripping out because I don't have
Yeah, we're used to having the headphones and we don't have the headphones. But I feel like when we have the headphones,
we talk too quietly.
Because we can hear it so much in our own heads. So we're doing this.
The Arnold edition.
The Arnold edition. We have Black Iron Gym employee/athletes here. Myself, Chrissy, Chloe is here. General manager. Desiree is here. Assistant general manager. @/athlete/coach/athlete. And Ryeface is here, the media guy. And then Sarah is here, who's been on the podcast before.
Hello, Sarah Lifts.
And then in the house.
Nice little
We
plug.
also have Bonnie in the house. Oh, can you change your Instagram name to that?
Bonnie in the house.
Bonnie in the house. Let's all change our Instagram names to our first name in the house. Just for like a day.
In the house.
Yeah. Chloe in the house, Chrissy in the
I'm not
house.
comfortable with that.
Bonnie, we didn't podcast when you came to Reno, huh?
No, we
This is like
didn't.
a
I didn't even know you were there until this morning.
Yeah,
Ever.
same. I was the couch girl.
Did you get in on Friday and you were there Saturday, Sunday, and you left Monday? Is that what
That's
happened?
why
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
That's why,
Yeah.
Couch
I
but
did
also
cross-
I
did cross
probably
paths
wouldn't
with you.
have because I spend my life in that little corner.
And we were in Sacramento all day on.
Yes,
Sunday.
Sunday in Sacramento. So there's 6 of us here, and basically this is just going to be a big Arnold recap. I tried my best to film, and I'm trying to vlog more for everybody, but I'm new, and it's still weird to me, so getting used to it. We figured we bought the podcast equipment, and when I say we, I'm at Ryeface, so we figured we'd just kind of like talk about the weekend. The Arnold.
Bad job by you.
It was everybody, well, Ryan and myself, this is our 3rd year.
Yeah.
And Desiree's 2nd year, right?
Yeah.
Second with the booth.
Yeah, 2nd year with the booth.
Booth.
BOOF. So last year we just had a 10x10 in the back corner because it was super last minute. And I do this thing where I let everybody come in the booth. So last year it was kind of a mess because of how many people were in the booth. So we figured we had to do it bigger this year. So we did a double booth and we showed it with Matt Vincent. How do we even want to start this? There was a lot of people and a lot of things happening.
There's a lot of stuff going on. I really didn't get much, like for content. I didn't have my phone out much except to ring people up.
I'm the same way. I hardly take any pictures all week because there's so much shit going on. I just rely on everybody else to take pictures.
Chloe was in businesswoman mode.
Chloe was the fun police all weekend. Christina Fitty Wap, but she changed her Instagram name, right?
Did she?
I don't know.
I think she changed it. She's wicked strong and she worked her ass off all weekend last year, so of course she came back again and like she understood. And I think this is where there's confusion. My sponsored athletes who are at the booth are not really required to work because
Yeah, unless we ask them to.
right.
Yeah.
As a sponsored athlete, people want to meet you, and you show up to the booth to meet people and take pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the issue with Des is she's dual employee and sponsored athlete, and you balanced it really well.
I think
mean,
so,
you know,
yeah.
you sat and worked, but if anyone wanted to take a picture, chat with her, she got right up and talked to him, and we had someone else fill that spot. So yeah, I really liked Serene.
See,
And her
as far as names,
Chloe has no idea what's happening.
nope. I can describe their hair texture and the way they looked, but
Eyelashes.
Dark hair, green eyes.
Serene Asian, the only Asian that helped.
I mean, we didn't have to there, but thank you. You'd have
Wow.
that.
Wow. Way to go.
Sorry, that's what you just. She's tattooed. Anyways, her mom showed up in cowboy boots and it just won me over.
That's awesome.
Like, while we're on this subject of it being a fitness convention, is it?
No,
There's
it's a Twitter meetup.
It's a Twitter meetup.
It's a
definitely-
social media
I would
meetup.
not call it a fashion convention.
It's like a YouTube retreat, but everybody likes each other.
Yeah, it's very weird. And there's definitely a very fine line between fitness and porn. We had a couple.
I mean, they can say that about CrossFitters too, so.
I mean, there was only one person I actually, well, there was 2 people I really wanted to meet. One of them was successful. The other one, though, I really wanted to meet Lacey K. Summers because it looks like a walking blow-up doll.
But that's a
And that's
big
dope.
no
I saw
for
her.
myself.
I saw her.
She's one
that's
of my, I wouldn't say idols, but I would like to meet her before I die.
Yeah, I definitely just want to touch her boobies. They're
She
cute.
can cook a mean grilled cheese in a bikini.
A pizza bikini at
Yeah,
that, right?
what?
And she winks.
Yeah.
Let's bring it at.
I need to get on this page.
Lacey K, you're getting a
Lacey K.
Oh, I am
Summers.
following her
Lacey
because
K.
Chloe got on my phone, and now I'm following her.
Yes. I didn't get
forgot.
to meet her. She was at the Bang booth.
Chrissy and I were so busy that today, Sunday, the third day, was the first day that we actually made it from one side of the convention center to the other. So,
Willingly?
took 3 days. Yeah, we just said we'd at least see what the other side was.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we
right.
went to the other side. There was some. So the other thing that's cool about the Arnold's is it's definitely like if you've never been to the Arnold, or I mean even if you have, you know that you get like the full spectrum of fitness because they had the Rogue strength stage with the what was going on there? The mass wrestling,
Moss wrestling.
moss, like moss on a tree, but it's not spelled like that. It's spelled like mass.
I can see that. I can see that.
I think it's
Yeah,
Russian,
I got
what
it in
is
my
it?
head.
It's Russian, yeah.
That was really cool. They had like, they had all the exhibition stuff with the pro deadlift and pro bench and all that, and then they had obviously all the bodybuilding stuff on one stage. There was the strongman stuff going on. There was,
I mean, outside of the expo hall, there's like jump roping, rowing,
Badminton.
all these
Fencing.
Fencing,
random.
yeah, fencing was
really
cool.
cool.
fencing's
Full
cool.
fitness.
Yeah, pole dancing,
Sure.
fitness.
Oh, but Des and I yesterday when we took our Starbucks break, we walked through the hall and there was like a very mini low class, but 7 Star Wars members.
Yeah, oh,
convention
yes,
thing going
yeah.
on.
I saw that
I saw
last
that
year.
too.
And we saw furries.
Oh,
Fancy
I
furries.
about
Unrelated.
lost.
They were
Lost
across
my
the street going to dinner or something.
There was like a mini furry convention going on across the street when we were leaving, and I was so excited that I got my phone out, and somehow through their furry masks, they saw me with my phone and waved, but our Uber came, so I couldn't go hug them. I was so excited.
Should I know what furries are?
I will let you look that up. Because
Oh,
that's.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah's gonna look it up.
Okay. What? Oh.
Should I give you what I think my definition is while she's doing that? Let me see if it's the
Just
correct
gonna-
one.
I
Let her-
want to hear the question.
Okay. So is Bonnie asking too? An enthusiast for animal characters with human characteristics. In particular, a person who dresses up in a costume as such a character or uses one as an avatar online.
So they're
It's
like
like an alter
they're
ego.
like real life mascots, but for real. Like the mascot costumes.
Yeah.
So it's like
So
that,
wear
but
them
it's their
and take
persona.
it seriously.
Okay.
It's their other
Okay,
side.
so it's like
And-
cosplay, but you
Yeah,
have your own
essentially,
like
yes.
animal
And the
character.
problem gets into there is a whole porn world for that.
So the furries I love, and it's just a fascinating. And last year when I moved to Reno, I had looked furries up for some reason. I was having a conversation with somebody about it, and I just found out I'd missed the furry convention in Reno, and it'll be coming up again in a few months. I'm really excited to
Oh, wow,
attend
the
that.
convention there.
Just as an onlooker.
Bonnie, how was your Arnold experience? Your one day?
Bonnie came for one day.
Yeah, I came for one day, which I think is about right. About the
About an
correct amount of time to spend at Arnold. Yeah, it's my first experience.
Bonnie
Ever?
has
Ever,
a
yeah.
new.
So that was fun today.
Let's talk about the dude situation at the Arnold.
Again, some fun fashion.
It is the strangest thing because again, you get like all spectrums. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
CrossFitters and like because Rogue's based in Columbus,
And
so like
fitness covers every range, you know.
right. So it's like you have someone like the top 1% CrossFitters there, like Dan Bailey was there. You
Mhm.
know, there was lots of CrossFit Games athletes there for Rogue, and then you obviously have like the bodybuilders, and then you have the big like the Steve Cooks and the Bradley Martins, all the bigger YouTube guys with booths and stuff, and then you have the people that attend, and it's the strangest thing because it looks like half the people that show up to the Arnold have never been in a gym in their life, but they're waiting in line for all the supplements and stuff. it's just very strange.
Or to meet you.
You meet anybody.
I had
really,
one
that's-
who wanted to teach me how to pose correctly in a picture with him today.
That's very
He
interesting.
probably wanted
Yeah.
you to do that to optimize how he looked in the photo.
It didn't though.
It's like it's like you knowing your angle, but knowing your partner's angle.
Yeah.
Picture partner.
It wasn't good for him.
There was lots of short shorts on dudes and no shorts on girls.
At all, no.
Yeah, I found out
It's
the
really
Fitspo
weird.
girls really love the leggings.
Like,
Yeah, all leggings, yeah.
And that's a super interesting. I haven't thought about that. I feel like everyone that was in shorts is like a powerlifter or
Right.
some sort of strength athlete.
Yeah, that's what's weird. And like this is kind of like we talked about this, and I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone here. This is my observation. I think with CrossFit and powerlifting and weightlifting, girls are very proud of their legs and what they've built because we think of it, our legs are our strength. And I think with Fitspo stuff, I think those girls are more critical on their bodies since they are in an aesthetic sport and their sport's driven by how they look. And I think that they're more focused on what looks bad and what looks good. And I think and then especially too, like a lot of them are in the off season. Did we know anyone competing? Last year it seemed like we knew a handful of people competing, and this year I can't think of anybody I know that competed in bodybuilding.
No,
Not recently,
not for
yeah.
long.
Yeah, so it seems like, they might be in the off season, and even though a lot of them look great, they don't think so.
Yeah. That makes
Two
sense.
things that come up for me with that is bring me back to the toilet seat because I'll forget, so I'll bring me back. But being over where we were with like the apparel and shakers and like in the merch, it's like I almost forgot what the Arnold was about and like maybe like how it started or like who was actually there. That there's like bodybuilders there and like the Fitspo girls like doing the shows and then the powerlifters and stuff. It's like we're so separated from all that we just get the people's people.
Right.
You know what I mean? The people that aren't there performing or competing.
Right. Because I don't know, it's one of those things where when people hear going to the Arnold, I feel like it's the scene that's in the expo.
Yes.
That's what people come for. And like our first year, we came because we were sponsoring the powerlifting, and it seems like we were out in the powerlifting area most of the time. And since we didn't have a booth, we left midday to go lift and do stuff and eat and hang out. Like we weren't like engulfed in the expo like last year and this year. So being in the expo last year, you definitely gotta like lose sight of what's going on outside of expo world. Which like we don't see the fencing or we don't stop talking so much, stuff like that. So it's definitely it's just a weird fucking place.
And just to bring it back to the toilet seat, because I didn't want to forget it, it's such a very important
The
subject
orange
for me
buds?
all weekend.
The tan?
Is I don't give a good goddamn if you use a toilet seat cover or not, that's your own prerogative. But when you have that spray tan all over you,
Yeah, the toilet
and
seats
you
are
know
orange.
you're going to be sitting on the toilet seat, like, come on, just be courteous. Like, put a toilet seat cover down so you don't get that stain on the toilet seat. A, to make some poor person that's cleaning that bathroom have to scrub that toilet seat even harder. And B, then now I have to worry about getting your freaking orange color on my shorties.
Yeah.
For real.
Now here's something I want to bring up.
Can someone just
Can
comment?
we talk
on
about
it?
toilet seat covers really quick?
They're funny.
I never use one.
I don't either. Unless situations like
I
that.
never
arise.
use a toilet seat cover. Look, it
Or
doesn't.
like-
But do you wipe the toilet seat off?
If there's pee-pee on it, actually if there's pee-pee on it, I wipe it off, but then still go on the next one.
That's nice of you.
Because I don't want anyone to have to deal with pee-pee.
I just wash
Clean it,
the
then I
next
wipe
one.
Or
And then that one's dirty, I
if I
clean that
walk
one
into
too.
like a bathroom stall that's like the toilet, nothing's flushed, I'll flush it, but still go in the next one.
I do that.
It's just
I can do
about-
that if it's bearable. I think there's a certain.
If
point
there's
which
like
I
doo-doo in it,
yeah.
it's a little ugh. So you like kick it
But
with
so
your
maybe
foot.
the girls with the fake tans, they think just like us. You know what I mean? They don't think to use the.
Like you don't know you're covered in orange spray that's gonna.
When you
rub off
stand
on
up,
things?
it's all over. You didn't see it?
I didn't see
all
it.
It's
over.
all over.
All
I
over.
didn't see
Orange, fake tan, everywhere. Now,
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to do that because they think more is gonna stick to the paper than is gonna stick to the toilet. So they don't want their spray tan to get ruined. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I
someone
know.
please
Like,
comment and let me
Maybe
know.
they should just squat.
I feel like they
that's what
should just cover.
Emily does
Yeah.
that. That's what Emily does, but I think it's after they compete and their tan doesn't matter
And
anymore.
they just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still would hover. That bathroom was pretty
The other thing I
disgusting
didn't
Saturday.
see, I felt like last year there was more people walking around who had competed, like who were orange. I felt like last year our booth was surrounded by bodybuilders and people who had just
Yeah.
competed, and this year I feel like I didn't see any.
I saw a few people on Friday, but that was it.
I saw like 2 today.
Might have just been location, because when I was standing over near like the SVD table, like I saw a bunch of people walking because the stage was right there.
The what
Yeah.
table?
The SVD.
What's that?
Squat
SBD.
bench, Deborah.
Okay,
SVD.
Powerlifting
You heard of it?
I have now.
Yeah, black and red. You've seen that
Knee
stuff.
sleeves, all the
Knee sleeves.
Monet sponsored by Chloe doesn't know what the fuck's happening.
I'm with you.
She's just not even.
Yeah, if I've learned anything about Chloe this weekend, it's that she doesn't know really anything about powerlifting.
No.
It's not a sport, man.
Yeah, I know, but just
It's not my
but
sport.
I've,
And
like, made
Chrissy knows
references.
a lot about it, so I let her cover that stuff.
Yeah. Just, you know, if we're gonna
I
be good
support
friends,
different-
then we have to learn about each other's.
You were teaching me the other night when I was asking all the questions.
Yeah, so another thing I think is really weird about the Arnold is the waiting in the lines to get stuff. And there's
People don't even know why they're waiting in line.
Yeah, Chloe and I stopped today to ask a guy, and
He had no clue why he was waiting in line.
Really?
He had no idea. And then we saw a line forming in front of her booth, or to the side, and I stared at random people just walk up into the line, and clearly they did not have an intention of getting in the line, but they saw the line form, and so they just filed in and stood in line.
Something's happening at the end of this line.
And these lines were long. They wrapped around the aisles. Like, what?
Yeah, there was
Like,
people
what?
I saw next to our booth, and I looked at one guy. I was like, "What is this a line for?" He goes, "I'm not sure." I was like, but he was in it.
Yeah, committed.
It's good, but this is what's weird to me too. Like seeing how many people were in the Quest line to buy boxes of protein bars, and I wanted to say, you know, you can order this on the internet, right? Amazon
But they
will
got
ship
that
it
free
for-
tasting.
Oh my god.
But see, class,
oh, they
They
did
made
offer
it-
one free bar.
one free
Yeah.
bar if you bought a whole box, but they made this whole experience. They create an experience. You wait in the line, you get service, someone helps you with a number, they hold up your number with a paddle, and they call you down. And there's headphones and microphones and chairs and
Yeah, look pretty
tasting
fancy.
tables. It's like a goddamn event.
They had
I'm not exaggerating.
No, I know. They were right across from us. We saw it.
Their booth was pretty legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw a photo booth. That's all
Yeah, they
I
had a
saw.
photo booth.
Yeah.
That
was really cool.
Like the other thing too. So like, we got there at 7:30 every morning. The expo opened at 9, and they let people pay money. You can buy a VIP pass at the Arnold, and you can pay money to get in early. So what happens is they open the doors, and it's like opening the fucking floodgates. And people scream and yell and run in and shove each other.
Running through the hallways. I mean,
outrageous.
there was rumors that like some of the bigger booths, like offered like a free tub of pre-workout or
For like
protein
the first
for
100 people or
the first
so.
few hundred. So I could see why these people are doing it. I mean, no, I cannot see why.
There's a reason. They wait for
There's a
hours
reason.
to get into the
There's a reason, but
It's not
Yeah.
So I haven't seen this, but is it like Filene's basement, like wedding dress sale? Have you guys seen the videos of that?
Yeah.
They're getting like
Yeah, like-
trampled.
Yeah.
Like Black
Yeah.
Friday shit.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
goes
sort of
back.
shit. But yeah.
People are waiting. They wait for 2 hours to get into the expo, and then they scream and yell and shove and sprint towards wherever they want to go. It's like shop till you drop, and they
Ugh.
run and then they get in line and they wait more. But did you see? So this is the other thing that we're close with the Monster guys, Monster Energy. We've hung out with them every year, and so they came over today. And obviously, one of their biggest competitors is Bang. So did you see what Bang did this year? Bang, did you notice the bags, the Bang bags? They were like 2 feet by 2 feet, literally.
Oh, you're huge.
No.
Yeah, so if you're holding it with your hand down at your side, it's touching the ground. And they're big, giant squares. So the first thing I think of, we do bags for a reason. It's because if someone's walking around holding a bag, it's advertisement. And then it starts walking around the whole convention. So I'm really glad we picked the green bags because they stood out on the red carpet. I'm giving away secrets now. Boom, boom, boom. So last year we did black bags, and black bags don't stand out against black pants. So this year we did bright green bags. Our bags were the size of a piece of paper. You know, they were bright enough to get noticed, but they weren't huge. So I heard that Bang did the giant bags on purpose because they knew everybody would put all their other bags in it.
Ah, that's
So
smart.
So
it's
next
smart,
year I
but
have to
it's
make
like-
like a sleeping bag, basically.
Just to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Some people had like backpack bags. bags, you know? And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
even
saw
better
those.
because that's like almost at eye level.
Yeah, so I mean that's advertising at the Arnold, you know. So Bang was doing Bang and Optimum Nutrition. So it was funny because people were saying they waited in line for 2 hours at Optimum Nutrition and opened their bag and there was like 4 little samples in it.
Yeah.
But Optimum Nutrition did that because they wanted the other people to put all their, you know, they
That's
knew how to
so
carry
smart.
taste around the whole Arnold and you're a walking advertisement.
I you know what, I constantly forget what people do for free shit. And like how much people love free shit. You know what I mean? And I just forget that I don't like those bags, those string backpacks that you get for free. But a lot of people love those. And a lot of people make those their gym bags until they wear out and then they move on to the next one.
There was
You know?
people saying that like they wait in line for the free t-shirt. They want a free Optimum Nutrition t-shirt. And I'm like, you would wait if you would waste 3 hours of your life to wait in line for a free t-shirt of a protein company or something you don't even use their shit?
Yeah.
It's what's crazy to me. But the other thing that's different is I remember, because I've been going to Olympia for way longer in Vegas. So people go to Olympia because a lot of companies get to write all this off if they're giving away samples. Then they get to write those samples off, everything, or they have samples left over from last year that they have to get rid of because they have new stuff now. So this is a go and hand out free stuff, and you know, here's 20% off coupons. But from what people were saying, like just talking to some like people who worked for the bigger vendors, is that the direction's changed because now people come to shop. It used to be people come to get free shit. There's people who plan their entire year around coming to the Arnold to shop.
Wow.
To
For
buy
their
shit.
favorite brands.
Right.
Brands.
And to meet people, but
And yeah, it
definitely,
comes down to meeting people and like there's probably people who just came to the booth to buy a shirt because they got to buy it from us in person.
Yeah.
There's like 2 times a year
Yeah.
you get to come by. I mean, we do the Arnold for sure. What else do we even do now? We did Wadapalooza twice. Once or twice, I don't remember. So it's like, you know, it's part of it's the experience of getting to purchase stuff from people you follow on Instagram or, you know, your
Yeah.
favorite sponsored athlete or your favorite social media influencer, you know, personality, stuff like that. It's like part of the experience. Desiree.
Des, I just can't hear you. Des, sometimes you just talk so much.
I
It's really
know.
hard.
Um,
Really hard to get a word in.
my favorite thing that
I mean,
happened.
mind you, I love this event. So I'm not like talking shit.
Right.
I love the whole experience. Like everything that encompassed the weekend, I loved.
Yeah,
It was just so
fun.
interesting to me. Some stuff that happened was just so intriguing. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. But that's life, you know, 72
Right.
hours.
Like, and this is the other thing I was thought. Now, I know we've been talking a lot of like negative shit, but this is what's really cool is, and this used to happen at like my seminars or like the meetups and stuff I used to do, or the boot camps I used to do, is like coming to these events and like people who make friends in the booth. Like whether it's volunteers, you know, like some of the better volunteers, or even like yesterday when it was busier and we had more people, it's like the people who worked for us got to bro down for a half a day or a whole day and they like become friends. Because I noticed today there was groups who were walking by who didn't know each other previously and they met at the booth and like they made new friends and new experiences. And like the people who volunteered when I posted on Twitter every year, they volunteered because they look up to us and the brand and they want to be a part of it, you know. And there was people who weren't planning on coming to the Arnold who came just to work the booth because that meant the world to them. Like Carly yesterday, for example, the really quiet one, and she had on the camel crop top.
Short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really
She's
cute.
the sweetest ever, and she even tweeted about how nervous she was because she looks up to all of us so much, and like she thinks we're just the coolest, and like it's her favorite brand, and like knowing that probably made her whole year to just get a rep the
Hang out with
brand and
us,
hang
yeah.
out and sell her like she was behind the booth at her favorite brand, and like knowing that just made her whole year, made me so happy.
Yeah.
And like they were thanking us.
Yeah.
They came and worked for free. They came and worked for a free ticket in and a t-shirt, and they were thanking us.
And it was cool for me too because I have like all of us, we have like these social media relationships that we've developed over the years, like 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, and like being out here for this event allowed me to meet some of the ladies that have been in like my lifting groups or whatever that I was never ever able to meet before, but came to that event and we could finally meet like after 3 years. Like even for like 20 minutes, it was so just like
Yeah.
cool to like see these people. You
Yeah.
know?
I definitely felt that way a couple times today.
Well, it's even cool too for me, like, to have Bonnie.
Who's Bonnie?
You're like a pseudo athlete, you know what I mean? Like, we send you free stuff and you rep our stuff, and like, you know, it's like Bonnie's, you're part of the team and you're part of the family, and it was like cool how people were stopping by the booth Friday and Saturday to tell me they couldn't wait to meet you and
Really?
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
you know,
so awesome.
It's cool, but like that just made me think how you were saying about social media relationships is
Yeah,
how
it's huge.
I'm making flashcards for next year. A little flip book of people and their names. So they
yeah,
can see
that's
this
hard.
great.
But it's just cool hearing what people have to say and you know how you might have inspired them or motivated them
That's
one way or
another
another.
thing.
What are the numbers for the
528.
And people pay attention too. Like people knew that I couldn't be there because I was coaching someone yesterday, and I
Yeah.
had multiple people say, "That's so cool you didn't come up early because you had an athlete
Yeah.
that was depending on you."
Yeah,
I'm like,
and it's-
yeah, that's awesome. Thanks
the-
for the support.
This
Coming
stuff, people come. I mean, obviously, there's people who are a little bit weirder, who can't spit out any like normal English sentences, and then there's the people who like pull you aside and like talk about how much you've inspired them or like how you've changed their life.
back. Yeah,
and
like the
stuff
person
like
you
that.
had this morning.
Yeah, like that was crazy. That
Yeah.
guy walked up with his special needs son, and he walked up just to say, you know, like, hey, my dad is fighting Parkinson's, and he was what, 250 pounds? He said 250 pounds. His 60-year-old dad found my Instagram, and because of my writing and stuff, he lost almost 100 pounds.
That's
Parkinson's
amazing.
disease, 60 years old, got his life back, and that, like, I almost cried, you know, and hearing that, and the guy, and I was just like, here, give him this shirt for me, and he, you know, posted on Instagram, and Ryan held his kid, and it was like, the most,
Ryan held a baby.
yeah, Ryan held a baby, and it was like, the most, like, you know, just cool thing to hear. That's how we got to start our last day, and I feel like I fall guilty, especially on the last day when I look awful, and I'm clearly exhausted, and my skin looks like shit, and my voice sounds like shit, and I just don't care about my appearance anymore. I fall into the trap of complaining about how tired I am and how bad I ate and all that stuff, like forgetting that there was people who came to the Arnold to come buy donuts fellowship from us, you know?
Right.
And it's super cool that to like know that, and like the other thing too is I'm not trying to throw jabs here at anybody. The 5 of us in this room are strength athletes, and we're all blessed with pretty nice looks for, you know, like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're fortunate in how we look, and but people look up to us for reasons beyond what we look like.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
for different reasons.
Yeah, and we all, one thing is we're not carbon copies of anybody else, and that's one thing I think is really cool about being a part of Donuts and Deadlifts or in our circle of friends. It's like we all have our own unique identities, and we're all passionate about things in our own way. We all have hobbies outside of lifting, you know, and we're people. And I think one thing that starts to happen in the fitness industry when you're looking at sports like, you know, kind of bodybuilding and stuff is, since you are popular for your body and what it looks like, I think a lot of the girls start to become the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that there's a lot of fitness people who are relatable, the ones who are my friends, and you know, whether they've suffered from an eating disorder or, you know, sexual assault, the ones that are more open, at least. Like, I get that you can find people who you look up to for certain reasons, but what I love about Donuts and Deadlifts and what we built is people didn't come up and be like, oh my god, you're my inspiration because of your butt or anything like that. Like, we inspire people because we're intelligent, hardworking people.
We get to use our fitness as a platform to deliver. What am I trying to say?
Other, like,
Like the other parts of our life.
right.
Like my queer community and Chrissy's sober community.
Exactly.
Sarah's.
Really smart people community. Sarah's I'm 23 going on.
It's okay, Chloe.
We get to use that platform. You know what I'm saying? Like we can reach other people that we could normally not reach.
Right. No. And that's what I really, again, enjoy about this group of people is that when we share on social media, we're sharing because we love what we're doing, and we're not sharing to gain followers or to get likes. I think we all have a pretty healthy relationship with, you know,
What we do. And
Yeah.
that's one thing is I was saying to somebody yesterday, I'll never have millions of Instagram followers ever because I just am not that type of Instagram account that millions of people want to follow. I get that. And I'm not, you know, I just will never be that. I'm a hard pill to swallow for some people. Some people aren't into tattoos, or some people aren't into anything, whether it's that. But like, I really pride myself on my transparency and being realistic and not only showing people the highlight reel. And I think we all do that. And on top of that, we're not just only posting lifting videos all the time, you know?
Right. I had a girl today just come up and talk about my dog for 5 minutes.
People
She follows my dog pic.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
I think I'm ready for next year.
Well,
I think I have a game plan.
You're prepared now?
Next
Yeah, I
year,
think I have a game plan.
yeah, I feel like we were pretty. The thing that was nice about this year, since we've done the Arnold book, the system's down with how we did the apparel, how we backstock stuff, how we, the system's there.
And this was my first, so like I think I just kind of needed to see what was going on to really be prepared for
Right.
what to do. And if you don't know the dynamics between Chrissy and I, we complement each other in most areas,
Yeah.
and like not meaning that we're the same, because we just make it work. We're like both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And for me going into this being my first event, like I did have one mission, and like I had like financial goals that I wanted to hit, and like each day I knew what I thought should happen, but I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to happen. So for me this wasn't like the most fun experience because I was so focused on the business side and and I knew Des had whatever she was doing, and if I had like someone reliable on the cash box, like, I knew what they were doing, but I was trying to like
Sarah.
manage everything in between, you know what I mean, and like minimize the chaos, which Chrissy like thrives in chaos, and I hate chaos. I'm like, oh, that's like
Hold up, people!
it's like a hurricane in my life, but like.
Well, that's
So I
good. You
did
guys
have-
balance each other out.
Yeah, so it was like I enjoyed it, but I didn't have like a
on that
blast.
top too.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't have a blast, but I did
Yeah,
enjoy
Chloe,
the
just get your door off the table, one.
Yeah.
Here's shit off my table. So it's like I think that next year will be like, even more flawless. We'll have that system down, and hopefully Des will still be my right hand at that point, and it'll be even more flawless.
Yeah, definitely. I think even the other thing that could be cool too is even if we had like what I think would be really cool is if we had like the podcast video camera set up off, like if where that buns and barbell thing was, like if we had just that space randomly off to the back, we could even keep like the athletes kind of over there and direct lines that way. Chloe's like, I love that idea.
Yeah.
And then I think it'd be cool to have our athletes interviewing people from the Arnold. Like Pope today had her camera and was just asking random people, "What's your favorite Pop-Tart?" Like putting people on the spot, and the responses were hysterical. So like we could have an athlete just asking a silly question, and that could be an awesome like YouTube compilation.
Yeah, and having our athletes talk to people that they want to talk to.
Right.
So we get that variety.
Yeah.
Because all of our athletes are so different.
Yeah, definitely. But it was cool too. Like we got to meet Charity for the first. I'd never met Charity before, and Charity Witt's our newest sponsored athlete, and we got to meet her, and it's just like cool how like different all of our athletes are too. Monet killed her deadlift today.
You're classy, Monet.
She's the
love
best.
Monet.
I know. Monette.
She's just
so
she's so classy. Class act, man.
She's a genius.
A fucking genius.
Like literally a genius.
Yeah. She's like a scientist. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know, that it's cool, like, and I on Friday and Saturday, I'm usually good, but then usually Sunday morning hits and I just feel sick and I look terrible, and the last thing I want to do is be positive. And I tried really hard today, but I think I lose sight of the big picture by Sunday. Yeah.
I had a bodyguard.
You did have a bodyguard over your right face.
Friday and Saturday I had a bodyguard. It was very exciting for me.
You're
And an escort.
I can't even believe I didn't think about the cash deposit situation.
Me either, but we handled it.
But the way I did it last year, oops.
What happened last year?
I didn't even think about going. I forgot banks are open Saturday, and I didn't even think about the other thing too. Though the booth location last year, it was hard to even leave. Like walking out of the expo, I showed you where our booth was last year. Back wall, back corner. So to get out of the expo, it took
Like on the way far side?
so opposite side that we were on, far back against the wall.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So to get out, it was taking people. I remember if you wanted to go out and get coffee, it was literally on
An
like
hour?
Saturday. It took an hour to get out and back in.
Brian, how long did it take us to get from the booth to the door that one day when it was packed? Like 5 minutes? Like 5 minutes
We could
to go
see
100 feet?
we could see the door from our booth.
Yeah. It was crazy.
That's when Rich the King was there. That's why it took so long. King Rich.
I waited okay. So Ben's band has like an ongoing Rich Piana joke. They write so Rich Piana sells water jugs for $20 that say 5% on them. That's his thing. And people buy them, and good for him. I'm not gonna knock on it because it's just like people are buying it. He makes thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off of people buying water jugs that you can go buy at the store for 99 cents. And you get people want the Rich Piano one. So Ben's band jokes around. They've got Rich Piano in the background of all their computers and iPads for the band, and they have 5% written all over their stuff. So I told Ben that I was gonna wait in line to meet Rich Piano to get a picture for him. And he thought I was kidding the whole time. And half of me was because I didn't want to wait in a line that was 2 hours long. They had it all roped up. Did you see it? Did you go look at how the line was set up?
No.
It was like, you know when you go to the movie theater and you wait in line to get your tickets?
Recording?
Yeah, they had it all like that. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So people were waiting. So yesterday after they had kicked everybody out and the convention was, or the expo was closed, I ran over there and I got in the line because there's still like 30 people in it. And then the security guard came and kicked everybody out. But since I had my vendor badge, I was able to stay inside. So I got my picture with Rich, and that was pretty funny. It just blows my mind that people wait.
For hours.
Yeah, but I got my picture with Rich, and I was very excited. I didn't have to wait.
You've blown up in the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
when I
pretty
started
fast.
following you because
really
of
has.
stupid you know who, I remember I started following you. Oh, what was your Instagram following about a year ago? You were at like 3,000 or 4,000.
Oh yeah, it was
And now you're at
5 for
yeah.
sure.
Growing at a geometric rate.
Yeah, it's really blowing up.
What do
I
you-
can't really blame it on one thing, I guess.
What do you find, and we can all talk about this, like as far as social, so like the other thing that's interesting is that I've met everybody in this room through social media. People who I consider like my closest friends, you know. I met Sarah, we were both living in New York City. I was already following you on Instagram, Normal Babes. I knew that.
Yeah.
And she came to a CrossFit event I was at, because you were CrossFitting at the time, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up hanging out and going on a donut date, and then we became really close friends and hung out all the time, basically up until I moved. We competed together, you know, you came out and helped with Donuts and Donuts, we hung out, we had barbecues, everything.
We're friends.
Yes. we did friendship stuff. And then I met Chloe through social media as well. And then I mean, technically, even though Bonnie and I had a mutual friend, it's still like we became friends pretty much through social media.
Yep.
Desiree through social media. Even Rife is kind of, even though we both lived in Reno and I knew who he was, we technically became friends through social media.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, I remember the night I got in the car accident
Yeah.
when Jude was a baby. That's kind of when Rife and I became good friends. So it's like interesting how even though I say about a lot of bad stuff, it's a double-edged sword, you know? I say bad stuff about social media, but it's pretty cool because I wouldn't have all of you in my life or any of my businesses if it wasn't for social media. That being said, let's talk about like engagement. Something interesting on social media now is you can see engagement, which means you can see how many people see your posts. And it's crazy to see what people see, what people like, what people watch.
Right, but to clarify for people who don't have business accounts, that's only if you have a business account
that is
where you can
true.
see
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you don't just see, we're not talking about likes and like views, we're talking about like you can actually see impressions and the number of people that look at it but don't necessarily like it. So
Right.
I work in social media, so
Yeah, we
kind of
know.
my bread and butter. But as Chrissy was saying,
What kind of bread?
So
brioche.
obvious. Now here's the thing, and this is where like I have confliction with stuff. The posts of mine that get the most likes, I'm in a swimsuit if I even have clothes on at all. People want to see me naked. My lifts aren't impressive right now because I've been injured, so it seems like my videos don't get as much engagement, but then I'll randomly have a video get 250,000 views. And it's always something stupid. It's me deadlifting 85%, you know, nothing impressive.
That happened to me one time. I had one bench video that was like insanely blew up for no particular reason.
That's also
No
weird
particular
because
reason.
normally people don't like bench videos.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
it was
yeah.
a bench video.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy because I find
The
when I
bar chart.
when I post insightful captions or something that when I just post a video, being like, oh, I squat this, you know, but if there's minimal caption to it, it seems like it gets less engagement. When it's attached, when a picture or video is attached to a caption that explains something or states where my injury is at, or state if there's a story behind the video, I get quadruple the comments and likes and views, it seems like.
I don't think that's even necessarily the standard. Probably because people follow you because they want to know what you have to say and they look to you as like a voice in the industry, but then they might follow a lot of other people just for their photos.
Right.
Like, they're not looking for anything that they have to say.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't think people read my captions sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd
but
be surprised though. But now the other thing that's really weird to me, and is this an engagement thing? People who tell people to comment on their video. The Fitspo people that say stuff like, look at right face.
give me the microphone.
Like there's so that whole point is to drive engagements because then they can command, as a person or an individual, they can go to their sponsors or to whoever and command a certain price because they can say, I have this many engagements, which means my posts have this many reach. So if I shout out your product, I'm going to reach 250,000 people or whatever. And then, but as for like what the captions say, there's a concept with social media called context collapse, which talks about the larger your audience, the purpose of your page gets lost because you cannot control why people are following you.
Right.
Sure.
And so it doesn't matter that you might have something good to say if you're naked. Or you're like, give us the goods, you know? Like, everybody likes to, it's like, hot young women have the most social capital in the world.
Yeah.
Like, or at least in our society. And that's, you know, that's good or bad or whatever. You can have endless debate about that. But, that whole concept of, like, you can't control who, or you can't control why somebody goes to your page. And that's the thing you see everybody grappling with, because you do want to be taken seriously, and there are tons of people that should be taken a lot more seriously than they are, and then there's some people that are taken way too seriously. and that's a frustrating thing because everybody, you know, there's everybody can think of somebody that they're like, why are they popular, and why is somebody else not popular, you know? And that's just an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that I love, but like celebrities or comedians or actors, actresses, but I don't follow them on social media because I already have a liking for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like for me, Instagram is different than Facebook, and Facebook is way different than Twitter. You know what I mean? Like Instagram is for me, it's instant visual pleasure. I will tell you right now that I barely read anybody's anything. I scroll through, find pictures I like, and I like those. Sometimes there might be something interesting, but that picture really has to catch my eye for me to read it.
Yeah.
Or I have to question what is going on in the picture, then I have to read to clarify.
But you're also conscious of what you post too, right?
The most random shit, yeah.
Some people more than others, and you can edit that out. Like I noticed that, like I'm most active on Twitter, so all of my friends that I met this weekend, they were posting all their pictures to Twitter because they figured that's the best place for like me to see them and for people to be like, oh yeah, it's that dude from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And because you go to my Instagram and you wouldn't know that I ever worked out because I separated out because it's like, oh yeah, like look at these pretty pictures, and that's a choice because I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel compelled to. I never record my lifts, but I never feel compelled to post them either because I'm never happy with them.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I'm probably for most of us in this room, but for myself, like I can say that I know I have people that follow me because I lift, I have people that follow me because I'm queer, I have people that follow me because I have tits and ass and tattoos, I have people that follow me because I do nature stuff. It's like, this variety, so I think my engagement is probably constantly all over the place.
Right.
Like the picture that got the most engagement in the last week is a picture of me eating a bag of Ruffles chips.
While on the platform, though, you know,
Yeah,
in between
right.
lifts,
Which is real life.
Which is a very accurate depiction of Chloe's life.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, I'm very realistic about. I think
Yeah,
the goings on.
it's everybody like edits their whole aesthetic.
I don't think I could ever make money off of Instagram because I don't target just one audience.
Yeah.
But I don't care to either.
Yeah, and that's the problem, and that's actually going to be the thing that'll kill at least this generation of social media is that there's too many people trying to turn it into advertising only.
Yeah, and so that's
Which ruins it.
Yeah, because it's like, man, like you're my friend, and like I want to know you as a person. Again, I can't control what you post,
Yeah.
but I know you as a person, and I'm just like I don't care about this new product.
Yeah. So I will say I work for a startup that does influencer marketing, which is exactly that.
Yeah.
But our company doesn't do like spammy fit tees. We don't have like a network of influencers that can just sign up and a brand just is like, here's $50 to post about this. It's much more nuanced and artistic than that, and that's what it should be. Like if you're gonna do a branded piece of content on Instagram, it should blend in with the rest of your feed. Like it shouldn't be immediately like obvious that you're like holding up a product. Like show how it's fitting into your life in a real way, or provide more useful information. Like if you're gonna talk about like, I don't know, like a chalk product or like a grips product or something like that, maybe do an informational post about how you take care of your hands and work it into that. Like don't just post the product and be like, I love this, like go buy it, because people know that that's an ad, and like just
Or,
like you
or
think
you could be like funny and self-aware and just be like,
Yeah, and
that actually
satire,
works.
yeah. But like, just don't be shitty about it. Like, no one likes commercials anymore on TV. That's why we watch Netflix. You know,
Yeah, we pay a premium to skip all that.
right.
Yeah.
And so now it's like creeping into our feeds. But if you're gonna do that, then work with brands that you truly love and like products that you actually use already, not just because a company reached out to you and they're like, hey, can we send you free stuff?
Which
like,
a
if you
lot
post
of
about
other
it.
people do. They just want, they feel like they need that recognition, and that's going to get them more
Right.
recognition by endorsing a product that they never have used or will never
And
use.
that's the evil
But all of a
genius.
sudden they're an athlete or a sponsored athlete of this
Right.
product that they don't even believe in.
That's the evil genius of it, is that there are plenty of companies out there, and there are plenty of people that are more than they are craving that. They crave being able to say that they're a sponsored athlete or whatever. And there's plenty of companies that are like, yeah, you're useful to me because I can pay you cents for you to bring me dollars, and that's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's why we're selective about who we choose and who we let into our circle, because
Right.
we're not like that. And I don't know, it blows my mind.
The
quite
other-
honestly.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the people who are pretty spammy about it are kind of ruining it for the real artists in the industry. Like, not necessarily just in the lifting industry, but anyone on Instagram that is making any sort of money from that. Because brands are already, a lot of them are very skeptical. The big brands are skeptical about influencer marketing because you can't, there's no real ROI. You can't really track how many people maybe buy something after seeing it on your feed. So a lot of them don't want to invest their money in that. And if you're just making it look really shitty, then you know the bloggers and the photographers who are making their living by connections that they make on Instagram and the sponsored posts they do and the content they create for brands, you just kind of like, you're discouraging other brands from going to those people. So just don't be spammy. I don't mean to be like getting on my soapbox about it, but like,
Don't be a bad friend.
yeah, don't be a bad friend.
The other thing too is I'm really like, I kind of fall in the trap. I don't like posting just for the sake of posting. And I know when I post more, my following goes up. The more I post, my Instagram following goes up quickly. But I kind of been on like the posting once a week train. I don't even have 1,000 Instagram posts on my Chrissy Mancagni feed. But I'm very like, I hate posting just for the sake of posting, and I I like to feel like everything I post has meaning. And that's something I think that also might be a problem because I go a week without posting and people care. It's like, it's weird that there's people who, like I've had people tell me they didn't want to go to the gym and they'll go to my Instagram and like get inspired and stuff like that. And I think that probably happens for all of us. I think, you know, all of us inspire people to be fit. And one thing that's cool about us too is like, you compete in multiple sports. You started as a CrossFitter, and then you got into powerlifting, and then you got into strongman, you know, and with like outdoorsy stuff. Or then we have Des, who competes in 4 fucking sports, and you know, like shit like that. And like, I think that Bonnie started as a CrossFitter and as a powerlifter, and I think that I think people get inspired like that, and like there will be people who comment on my Instagram. I wasn't going to go to the gym today, and then I saw this, and now, or I'm injured too, and I saw this post, and I'm feeling a lot better about myself. So it comes down to like quality of your content as well, and like, you know, and the other thing too is I try really hard too also to not only post what I think people will like, you know, because that's another thing. Like Chloe posts whatever the fuck she wants. That's how you are, and you don't care, and one thing I really like about Chloe is you don't give a fuck about your Instagram following. You don't care if you lose followers. You don't care if you gain, you know what I mean? And like, Chloe's like, I'm going to post the troll, Donald Trump troll.
Oh God.
Chloe makes posts that she knows are probably going to lose her followers and not give a shit. And I'll be really honest, part of me gives a shit. And I know I shouldn't care, but when my following goes down, I'm like, fuck. I feel like I'm becoming irrelevant. And that's always a fear. Everyone in the fitness, because there's going to be younger, more attractive, fitter, stronger people always coming in. And the struggle to stay relevant, but like, my income largely comes from my relevance with the nutrition stuff or with people wanting to be a part of the gym. And that's where, I mean, as long as donuts and deadlift stays relevant, you have a salary paying job.
Right.
You know? And as long as donuts and deadlift stays successful, like Des continues to grow as an employee and make more money. But I live in that fear because I do sell my book and my income largely comes from my businesses that I ran online. So I have that fear of needing to stay relevant, continue to provide information, to continue to be able to build Black Iron Nutrition and the gym and stuff with Elo and donuts and deadlifts.
Well, and you got other people relying on you.
Right. That's the other thing that I
That's
live in
added
fear
pressure.
is I have 10 employees, I think.
Oh my man.
Yeah, I think there's 10 across all businesses. I have 10, so I constantly need to have that in mind that I need to stay relevant and continue to, have my businesses be successful because it's not just about me. I took a huge, huge, huge pay cut with everything, moving back to Reno with all the businesses because I asked for help, and I talked to people about this yesterday too, about being a business owner, and it's crazy how when I was living in New York, how much money I made, but because the cost of living in New York was so expensive, I felt like I never had money because of my rent or my, stuff about just living, what comes with living in New York City.
Her apartment was sick though. She had a spiral staircase.
Yes, that was the strangest thing.
Right face
I only fell down it once.
Right face when I did live in a dope Manhattan
I wasn't even
apartment.
drunk and I fell up it. Fell up it.
A lot of you guys probably saw pictures. We had a 3-level apartment in Chelsea, Manhattan, and it was really cool, and it was a fun 2 years. But it wasn't long. It wasn't sustainable. It was, my bank accounts were just slowly dwindling as we lived there. But we went for the experience, and we had fun, and we learned a lot, and we decided what we wanted to do long term with our lives. But what's funny is when I opened the gym and moved back to Nevada, I took a huge pay cut, but I still had more money in my bank account each month, and I was able to start saving again because the cost of living was so much cheaper.
Right.
It's crazy. But at the same time, I used to drive myself insane with how much Ryan and I worked. I felt like we were always playing catch up, always answering emails, always trying to figure out how we were going to get stuff done in a certain amount of time. Everything was always coming out late, releasing late, orders were going out late because it was Rye-Face and I. And sometimes we had help from people, and then what happened was I hired someone to run donuts and deadlifts to free up my time. With opening the gym, I hired coaches. I hired other nutrition coaches to help me. And asking for help's okay. It doesn't always have to be doing everything yourself all the time. It's okay to ask for help and build a team of people to help with things.
And learning how to delegate is a very important skill.
Right, especially as a business owner. And that's something Chloe's really helped me with. Because I feel like when you came into my life and you would, a couple of my businesses, I'm not going to say they were in bad shape, but they were kind of a mess here and there because I was bad at delegating or bad at being a boss. I don't know how to be a boss.
Yeah.
And that's
Separating boss from friend.
Yeah, separating, because everybody that works for me was a friend first for the most part, you know? So that's just been a skill I've had to learn. Even being here over the course of the weekend, I didn't micromanage anything. I kind of stepped back, I kind of let you run things here and there. I mean, I tried to be like firm in general with like volunteers and stuff, and what I wanted and what needed to get done. But it felt so nice to be able to feel like I could leave the booth and everything would be fine, or to feel like both of us could leave the booth and everything would be fine. Or like if you and Des left, then everything would be fine, I could handle it.
Yeah.
That was just a major tangent.
Yeah, we kind of go like talk about social media.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Looked around back to you, Arnold.
We were trying to talk about Bonnie here.
Yeah. I don't even remember that. Yeah. Oh, we were talking
What
about.
are
We were
your
talking about
goals?
social media.
What are your goals?
Following.
what are your short-term and long-term goals?
In life?
It's life lifting both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, inside and outside of the gym.
Well, inside the gym's pretty easy. I have a push-pull meet coming up at the end of April in Chicago that I'm really excited about because bench and deadlift are my best lifts. Yeah.
Squatting.
Squatting, right? No, so I'm really excited for that. So I'm just gonna kind of train through that and have that as a fun meet. And then my next full power meet will be mid-June probably, and then I have qualified, but nationals in Orlando in October.
Yeah, you
I'm gonna
mentioned.
see you there, Des.
Maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know.
You mentioned earlier that some of the numbers you wanted to hit. So is that your
Yeah.
goal for June? What were they?
Well, I don't know about June, but by the end of the year,
Hell yeah.
we're looking at
We're
like
talking
nationals.
2017.
Definitely want to get that squat over 300. I'm at about 280, 285 right now. Benching around 180. Want to get that close to 200, and then hopefully pulling 4 by the end of the year. Pulled the easy 369 at my last meet, so 7 pounds over triple body weight. So I was pretty stoked about that.
Yeah.
We'll see how things go.
Ray Williams
Yeah.
can add 50 pounds to his squat in 4 months.
Right?
Yeah. So we've got some goals for the year, and then maybe compete at the Arnold next year.
That would be dope.
Then we could have another fun time. And I want Des to be strongman next year.
What about outside the gym?
Outside the gym, just continuing to grow my business right now. So I train people in the gym, strength and conditioning. I have a crew of powerlifters, which is growing, which is awesome to see. Girls getting excited about it and competing and traveling to compete. So continue to grow my client base, and then I also do online programming for a lot of people too. And pretty much everyone has found me via social media, via my Instagram.
What is your Instagram? So people who aren't in the know.
You
Let's
can
plug
find
it.
me at Bonnie Schroeder
Hey,
That's
spell
on
it
the
out, please.
Instagram machine, BONSCHRO.
And that's how they can contact you for coaching?
Yeah, sure. Slide in my DMs and talk. But yeah, so just continuing to grow that and build my own brand and reach more people and continue to have fun with it, because that's the most important part.
What about you, Des? I'm making you talk.
What's up?
What are your short and long-term goals in and outside of the gym?
Inside the gym,
Mm-hmm.
I am training for strongman, so hopefully I can compete at the Arnold next year in amateur. We'll see how it goes. As a lightweight,
That's your
it's
focus
kind of
now,
tough,
right?
but I did find out today there is a category at 120 and under, so that was pretty exciting. So I may have a chance.
Strongman is your focus now.
It is, right? That and weightlifting and Highland Games. Powerlifting is kind of on the back burner at the moment, but I'm still doing the compound movements.
Bonnie has less competition.
No, I have a question.
Yes. Bonnie has a question.
Can you explain the strongman weight classes?
So usually it's, depending on the federation, it's lightweight, which is 140 and under. There's a middleweight and then heavyweight.
Okay.
And then Sarah, she's also competed in strongman before, so
Yeah, well, I always compete in middleweight, and for one of the federations, I think it's 165 is the top of the class, and
So 140 to
Well,
165.
actually they have subclasses within it. There's like a lower middleweight and like heavier middleweight.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't know how exactly.
I've competed in
down.
both USS and NAS, and I
so I
can't
think
remember
it
which
just
one is
depends on the
one.
federation then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but one of them, I know that 180 is like the upper end of middleweight. I don't totally remember, honestly.
Okay.
It's
I was
been a
just
while.
curious. I know
But
it's
that's-
different.
That's roughly what it is, though.
Okay.
What's your guys' favorite event in strongman, by the way?
Stones and log.
Yeah, stones for me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, static events.
What do you think of Brian Shaw's 560 stone today?
It was really impressive.
I didn't see it, but I'm so not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was watching some of World's Strongest Man a few months ago, and like on the stone event there, people couldn't get it up like over the like highest height. I don't remember what the event was. I sound like a really bad strongman advocate
That's
right
okay.
now, but like no one could get it up, and he just like tossed it over. Like,
That's
he's
nuts.
incredible.
That didn't make sense.
It's
That
crazy.
is-
And-
that is the real functional fitness.
Yeah,
Right?
and like other guys like had to get it like on top of their head essentially to get it over, and he just threw it up there. So yeah, it's pretty
I did
crazy.
stones once, and that's hard. It's fun, but I'm like, I'm so short.
Yeah.
It was a challenge.
Yeah, strongman is a sport where it definitely benefits to be taller.
So you want to get back into competing,
Yeah.
and was that short term or long term? Both.
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 Probably both.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Is it more short term than long term though right now since you're rehabbing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much done with rehabbing for the most part, and I'm just still cautious going through for disc herniations is,
That's a huge mental thing.
yeah, I was
for
out.
everybody.
I
like,
was out
coming
for
back from
quite
an
a year,
injury.
so
And
any
then-
kind of movements, I'm still cautious.
And then outside of the gym, I mean, I would imagine you have a lot of goals since you did move up to Reno.
I did. I moved to Reno, Nevada to coach at Black Iron Gym. It's going really well. Yeah, I'm coaching this women's strength and conditioning and powerlifting, and the powerlifting is slowly growing, but I think it will get there.
Talk about your classes, because you specifically, you're in control of those.
Right.
So when is that, and what are those about? I know, but you're gonna explain that.
When is it?
Yeah, in case somebody wants to. Show up.
Okay, yeah. So women's strength and conditioning classes are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. I have it's a varied between powerlifting, strength and conditioning. I'm gonna eventually would like to start some strongman classes and incorporate those implements. And I think it's always fun. The group of girls are awesome. We always have a good time lifting together.
And you still work with Tony too, right?
I do. I work with Tony Montgomery at TM Nutrition. We do online programming and nutrition dieting. So helping just the average person diet or anybody that's cutting weight for powerlifting meet.
And how do people stalk you on social media?
At Free Yourself 83.
Yeah. How long ago? Where'd that come from?
Yes, please tell me.
83 is Mark's birth number.
Yeah, 83.
Yeah.
This is gonna be cute and cheesy.
It is, yeah. So Free Yourself, I mean, you can interpret that in so many different ways. And
Oh, I have.
yeah. I mean, I like to think of myself as a free spirit. I've always been like that. And a tattoo of it, and I just never got it. So before Instagram was even an Instagram, before it was like this blown up social media, I just picked Free Yourself. So
Yeah, I don't think really anyone knew what Instagram was going to be when we started using it. However
It was
many
like
years ago that
MySpace.
was.
It's like MySpace. Everybody's like, I gotta have a name.
Yeah, but it wasn't very clear. It wasn't very. I thought it was
Cool
a
user
photo.
ID.
I thought it was like a photo editing app at first. I just thought I had a
It
username
was.
for it.
It was.
So I
Yeah,
didn't
she
even
used to
realize-
send nudes on them.
Yeah, I did it. So I did it. Brandon Collins told me about it. He got it he got it right when it came out. His friend that worked for Apple told him it's like, he didn't tell me this, but he was like an avid Twitter user back in the day. So he basically realized Instagram used to not even be able to attach captions.
It was just photos.
It was just photos at
Yeah, I
first.
remember.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It
And there was
was-
like
I must have got it too late.
there was like 6 filters. This was 2000.
Yes.
This was before I even got married. This was
This was a long
2010.
time ago.
Yeah. I was newer to Instagram game.
Yeah, so he told me about it, and I thought it was because he collaged a picture of our backpacking trip and put like a filter on it.
Yeah.
This was the first time filters were ever a thing.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was
Right. Right.
my mind was blown.
Right.
Except
So-
for a photo booth on Max.
On Max, but
When
that's
you can get like where they're just Snapchat filters now.
So yeah, he told me about it because he made this picture look all cool, and I was like, "How'd you do that?" He's like, "Instagram, it filters your pictures." That's all he told me.
Yes.
So it used to be that you had to take your pictures through Instagram. That was it. You couldn't upload a picture from your library. All your pictures had to be taken from the picture option in Instagram, and then you picked your filter, and then that was
And there was an option to save the photo to your camera roll.
right.
And you get an option to make your profile, I'm quoting here because I have no idea what I was doing with that, to make it private or not.
Right.
And
So-
that early iteration was
I knew-
stupid as hell.
I knew nothing about this, okay? So I would take my pictures on there, and I thought it was just like a place where it saved them. I didn't know this, and then you could like screenshot it or save it. They would automatically save it to your camera roll. So I used to take nudies on it and filter them to make them look all artsy, and then that was
Because that's how you send a classy.
yeah, exactly. That's how you send art. That's how a nude stays classy.
Production value matters.
So what I didn't know was that people could see them. So my Instagram in 2010 or 11 was a couple pictures of trees, a couple pictures from camp trip, and like 10 nudes of my boobies. This was before I had boobies. So
So no, not much booby to look at.
there was no boobies. I was about 115 pounds. So what
In the
happened
early
was,
stages, though, how did it let you know that you had like followers?
now wait a
still?
second.
Okay.
I showed up to
Chrissy.
get tattooed by Brandon, and I said,
What the
so you know that Instagram app you told me about? I was like, yeah. I was like, it says that I have followers. I have like 13 followers. So what does that mean? I had no idea. And this was still like, I had just gotten a Twitter because Brandon's like, you have to get Twitter. You can tweet. And I was like, okay. And this was right when Twitter was getting popular.
Yeah.
And like, so I was kind of using Twitter, and he's like, well, yeah, Instagram's Twitter, but instead of tweeting words, you tweet picture. It's like tweeting pictures. I go, what? He's like, yeah, you know how you have followers on Instagram? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you're on Twitter. Well, you have people follow you on Instagram too. And I was like, oh my god. And I freaked out, and I went on, and like, granted, it was like 13 randoms who somehow just, because it used to have the popular page. Instagram had the popular page. So then I deleted them all, and then I did like a photo a day thing. Remember when the photo days were cool? Early Instagram, where you was like, photo day, something green.
Yeah.
Hands.
And
Like a flower.
if you wanted to communicate with anyone, you
Use
had
the hashtag.
you had your
Yeah.
kick handle, and you had your kick
Yeah.
handle in
There
your
was no DMs.
profile, so
No
that you could
DMs.
kick someone to talk to. Oh my god, KIK.
Yeah. So
Still in it.
what started to happen is I did a photo a day in January, and you used the photo a day hashtag, January photo day. This was still like the first January that Instagram ever existed. So I started doing the photo a day, and I was all into it, and I would click the hashtag, and I was like, oh, this is so cool, and I'd like other people's pictures, and then my Instagram started growing. And then what happened was a tattooed models page that had like 5,000 followers, which was a fuck ton when Instagram first came out, reposted my picture. And remember when I hit 1,000 followers, Ryan? I got freaked out. I was like, this is really weird. There's all these strangers following me, and I don't know who they are. It's like people who like tattoo girls. This is weird. I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. I think I'm just gonna delete the whole thing. Ryeface said, don't delete it. Like, what do you do? Don't delete it. Like, you don't, you know? And I was like, okay. So then I started posting pictures of my food and like gym pictures, and people ate it up because there was no fitness Instagram. And then I created the fitness photo a day, and then shit just took off. It was like it was just weird how it happened. And then now look at Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Now
thanks,
we-
Ryeface.
Now,
Yeah, words of wisdom.
now we are
Delete
all
it.
here.
Now we're all and
Now
here we
we're-
are, 6 years later.
That's
Short
pretty
and long-term goals.
Yeah,
and
it's
outside
weird,
the
though.
gym.
How it works. So yeah, Sarah.
Ryeface is
I'm on
trying to make that
Calm us
casual
out.
segue. So,
Oh yeah. So there I was, in and outside of the gym, short and long-term goals.
Okay, well, those of you who don't follow me on social media, I've been injured, coming back from an injury for almost a year now. So short-term goal is to I injured my low back and hips I never got an official diagnosis because I just didn't see a point in spending money on that. Because a lot of back injuries you can rehab the same way. So I just evaluated my technique. I did a lot of core strengthening. I cut it all the way back to just the bar and started from scratch. So I'm way better than I was 6 months ago, but I'm not competition ready yet. So I would like to get back to competing. That would be long term. I'm not in a rush. I'm very young and don't want to damage my body any further. So short term goal is to feel good enough to back squat something close to my old numbers, which I'm still pretty far off from, but my front squat is getting real strong, so that's okay too. I'm also about to start learning how to throw, like the hammer and the shot.
Yay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I met a guy at the gym that did it in college, and I was like, hey, I want to learn, and he's going to teach me. So I just want to be like Des. I want to go compete in Scottish Highland Games. I went to college in Scotland, and I just really feel a connection to that culture. So I really want to compete in that eventually. So I'm starting with hammer and shot. So I'm also hoping that maybe that won't bother my back, which is probably not true because of all the rotating, but maybe not directly loading my spine will be better. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, Matt Vincent became 2-time Highland Games champ with no AC.
This is true. This is true. So we'll see. I'm gonna try out some different things in the short term. I just joined a co-ed softball league. So, and I played softball in high school. I played softball like my whole life. So I'm doing a lot of different things right now, inside and outside of the gym, to make sure I'm happy while training.
You're pretty career driven right now too.
Yeah. I mean, I work a full-time job, 9 to 5, and then I also have side hustle running an Etsy shop and running a little bit of a blog / newsletter, which was formerly a food blog. So I've always had a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, long-term goals outside of the gym, I don't know. I'm less and less sure of what I want to do with my life the more I live. So
You're how it happened.
At that age, that's like the most fun and scariest thing.
I'm on the brink of a quarter-life crisis, definitely.
Yeah.
That's super
I
fun.
have
We've all
not been
been
in.
there, though.
I'm in a third life crisis.
Right? We're all kind of in the middle of one
Joe.
anyway.
Hello, Joe.
I mean, it's 2017. What's not going to happen? I'm so excited for 2017.
Oh God.
I really am. I really want to get this podcast / YouTube channel thing that I've been talking about for like 6 months. I want to get that off the ground this year. I just need someone to produce it. If you're interested, comment below.
Can you
I
tell us what it is?
I love saying that. Comment below. I don't know why.
What is
Yeah,
the
because
podcast?
Some
how
naturals,
people
yeah.
do, and
Yeah.
it's never who we want.
It is inspired by some life events of some of my favorite drag queens. That's all I can really say about it.
I'm excited.
I want to get a fashion accessory line going this year.
Furry pets.
I would also like to get back into
Furry fannies. Fanny furries.
I am coming back to
You're the
those are my
wrong
short-term
audience.
goals. I do want to get back into unicycling, so I am.
Back into
You guys are laughing at me, but this is fun for me.
No, I know.
So you
I'm
were
laughing because
I used to unicycle all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your great face.
I really want to get into off-road unicycling or downhill unicycling because we have all the mountains in Reno. I love that my friends are so supportive of me. Everyone's laughing.
Is there, you know how you can do like winter mountain biking now? Can you do winter unicycling?
With the bigger tire, you mean?
Get winter tires.
Yeah, I ventured up
Bonnie's
into.
face.
I went and ventured around Truckee like last weekend just randomly because there's like 20 feet of snow, and there's a guy just pulling out. He's like, "Check out my bike."
Yeah.
And he just had these like super easy.
Yeah, the
He's
bigger
like,
tires.
yeah, it's super hard, but
Yeah.
it's super fun.
Yes.
So,
I mean, and there's like the downhill ones have hydraulic brakes underneath the seat that you can
so
like.
you
pump.
can do it in the snow too.
I haven't done it, but I don't see why you couldn't.
I
Okay.
feel like that'd be way safer than
The
doing it on,
pavement.
like and hitting a
I think
rock.
people have like a misconception about unicycling. I think it's not as easy to hurt yourself as people think because there's no bicycle frame to get in your way. So when you fall,
You just jump off, right?
you kind of can like catch yourself. I mean, you do hit the ground sometimes, but it's not like having a giant frame that your body's getting tangled up in.
What if you're off-roading?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna hit a rock or something, but just don't fall like that.
Okay.
I think I need to see videos of this.
Some other things.
We got a hardcore YouTube sesh
Wait,
coming
Yeah.
Chloe, before we move on, Chloe
Yeah.
really likes to not answer my questions.
Keeps you wanting more.
Chloe, when were you formally into unicycling?
My brother's first wife was in the circus, so she taught me how to do the circus things.
Are you guys glad I asked?
I love my friend so much.
That's
I
incredible.
might have to post a video just for Bonnie's
I
face
can't tell
right
when
now.
she's serious and joking.
Did she teach you anything else?
That's me
Yeah, I saw
in my
that
carnival
picture.
outfit.
Jesus fuck.
Did she teach you anything else?
Oh, yes.
Um,
Answer too.
I do have some long-term goals. I want to get back into the LGBT community a little bit. I took a little bit of a break. I think I needed a year off from being activist and in the public light. What? Is she laughing at me more still about?
The other day we were in the car and you're like, what if we just died in a car accident? Could you imagine the news report? Trans superstar Chloe Johnson found dead, mangled car. I was like, oh my god.
I was just exaggerating for laughs and giggles. Yeah, I mean, I think I just have some life stuff I really just want to like focus in on this year. Get settled.
Chloe did a lot of not answering that question.
What was the question?
Short term and
That was short term.
in and
In and out
outside
of the gym.
That's all outside of the gym.
Yeah. So what about inside? Oh, do you even care anymore?
No. I mean, I have fun
That's
lifting.
where I'm at.
I've just started lifting again and having fun. Like, I'm not worried about my numbers. If I can hit my numbers that day, cool. If not, I don't stress about it. I'm back to having fun.
That whole, like, if you're going to the gym without a goal, you're a piece of shit thing is so 2014.
Yeah.
It is. It's okay. I'll just turn the volume up on myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, some days I don't have time to work out. Some days I don't feel like working out. And you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to work out when I don't feel like working out.
Yeah, and you don't have to talk like you're recovering from some kind of thing because you're just like, yeah, I just don't care.
Yeah, if I'm busy at work, I'm not going to stress myself out even more
Yeah.
by stopping work, working out for 2 hours, and then going back to work and being late, and coming home late to my dog, and not being able to relax. Like, that just isn't fun for me anymore. So I've chosen not to do it. I don't engage things that aren't fun for me or that I don't benefit from. I also don't believe in being courteous. Some of you know this. I don't believe in being courteous at sake of making myself feel uncomfortable. So I won't do things just to please other people. And that's really big for me.
Yeah, I don't
That's
like
really
being fake.
different.
Like, I'll talk to someone, I'll be talking or FaceTiming with someone or whoever it is, and say, hey, I don't want to talk anymore, I'm going to go. Because I'm not involved in that conversation anymore, so I don't see any point in pretending to be present when I'm not going to retain anything because I don't want to be there. And some people think that's rude, but that's just,
Still honest.
yeah.
I like that about you.
That's my
My turn.
Yep.
As far as the gym stuff goes, I just want to feel healthy again. Everything hurts all the time. I don't care about
This again.
competing in powerlifting like I used to. Obviously, I think I would still like to do maybe one meet a year for fun. I would like to do a Highland Games tournament this year with Des. I think that'd be really fun to get me out of that. So that's something I want to do with Des.
Can I come next year?
So that's something I really want to do. I'm excited to get back into cycling. I love riding my bike. That brings me an insane amount of happiness riding my bike. So
Does that hurt your knee? Have you tried?
no, I felt okay. But I mean, obviously I hurt my knee. It started to hurt really bad in the winter. So I had to cancel that cycling trip. So I want to do the Nissan Xterra off-road triathlon this year.
When is that?
It's in August. So it's a trail run, a mountain bike, and like a lake swim. It's all off-road type stuff. So I I definitely just want to branch out of my fitness and be outside as much. I do want to be an asset to a team for the gym and CrossFit next year. So I have a lot of work to do because my gymnastics stuff is shitty and my Olympic lifting is shitty. So I kind of just want to work on weaknesses this whole year and just try some new stuff and just try to be a more well-rounded athlete and maybe do 1 week for fun to just, stay involved in the USAPL. So that's kind of gym stuff. Outside of the gym, I want to buy a house with Ben. I never wanted to own a home before, and then I met Ben, and now I want to do all this weird adult stuff. And, I always thought, marriage and shit like that was never on my radar again. So ever since meeting Ben, I definitely have all these weird, corny feels and goals. And, buying a house was never something I cared about, but now it definitely is. So outside of the gym, I really want to get the nonprofit going at some point, which is I need to get some tax stuff, all caught up and figured out before I'm able to do that. And then I'm really passionate about Elo, Flyco, the new outdoor brand. And what's cool about that is Donuts and Deadlifts is kind of the bread and butter. It pays 4 people's salaries, and it provides income for 4 of us now. And Donuts and Deadlifts is established as a brand, so it just comes down to nailing down product releases and getting into manufacturing and all that. But I was just telling, let's talk about Nick and Allison Leo too while we get the chance, because I think they were some of the coolest people I got to meet this weekend. So with Elo, it's cool too because that's a hobby, and I think it kind of always will be. It's never going to be about the money with that company. It's going to be about getting people outdoors and inspiring people to get outside. So that's really cool, something Chloe and I have together, and we've done the whole thing together since the start. So that's definitely, from a career standpoint, going to be the main focus this next year, is creating that brand the right way. I don't know, just, life stuff, work stuff. I'm the happiest I've ever been, even though I'm still a mess. But I'm definitely the happiest I've ever been. I feel like the team of people we have now is the team of people that it's supposed to be, and it's your turn, Rye-Face.
I casually hit my accidental low-key 2017 goal, which was to get a 1,200 powerlifting total without really trying, which was cool. And I actually started taking my nutrition somewhat seriously because I felt like I should only be a piece of shit kind of person where I know how to do other people's nutrition and not care enough to do it for myself. Plus summer's coming up.
The summer body.
I want to get every fun and creative and original on the YouTube. And everything else. And outside of the gym, I don't know. I've gotten myself really into cooking and stuff, and I just pursuing that for fun. It's good, it's constructive, keeps me out of trouble. So that's always fun. And completely contradictive of being good about my nutrition. And that's okay. And then we can wrap it up because we actually did podcast for 2 hours.
I figured that.
Would you rather?
Oh boy.
I heard the worst one ever the other day, so this isn't mine, but I'm gonna say
The worst one?
The worst.
This is
okay. All right.
scary.
All right. Would you rather have to watch your parents have sex nonstop for a year, or join in to make them stop?
I've heard something like that.
I'd rather watch.
For a year?
I'm not gonna jump in.
Nonstop.
How
What if
long?
I have to?
Are you
Non-stop
jumping
for
in?
But wait, what if
When
I
you
have
jump
to?
in, how long is it for?
Until you're good.
Until I'm good?
Until you orgasm.
Until you're good, that
Hey, you can be selfish.
Non-stop for a year?
Nonstop for a year.
I'll jump in.
You just jump in
I don't
once?
know.
Yeah.
Now wait, what
To
if you
make
have
it
to?
stop.
But what?
So meaning they?
But what do you
Look at
have
that,
to
she's
do
like,
to make
yeah,
it stop?
No.
I'd
I don't
watch.
think so. I would
But
watch.
now wait, you're just.
I would have to watch.
But what about?
Can you close your eyes? When
No,
you're
you have to
watching?
watch.
You actually have to watch.
Closing your eyes. Closing your eyes actually means the opposite of watching.
But keep your eyes pretty closed when you're watching.
There, for someone that is so intelligent,
For being one of the most intelligent people I've ever met.
that was the dumbest.
I'm just trying to find my way out of this, okay?
All right. Okay. Well, would you rather kick a baby or punch a World War II veteran? I'm just gonna end it on that. Make people
Like
answer.
kick a baby, how hard?
Like it's
Like punt it?
yeah, like
I
as hard
know,
as
just
you
like
can.
an infant.
Yeah,
They're resilient. Kids are resilient.
Yeah. If it
Balance.
depends if it's an infant or like a 12-month-old.
Like a fucking 2-year-old.
A 2-year-old?
Yeah.
They're
I will
fine.
kick a 2-year-old.
Kick,
Yeah.
kick the baby.
I'd punch the vet.
I think I'd punch the vet too.
We do
Just
have Twitter
fucking run
questions
up and
before we
like-
log off. There's only 10.
What?
Let's go.
There's 11.
Twitter
There's
questions.
Twitter questions I tweeted.
Oh yeah, somebody said I have a really good duck face, and that's tight.
Melissa Hale said,
Monster May.
whose farts or poops smell the worst?
Well, the clothes are the
I
loudest.
fart a
But
lot.
they don't ever smell.
Yeah,
But I don't think they smell that bad. I fart
Yeah.
a lot.
Pens don't smell either.
Chloe says she farts a lot, but they don't smell. And that's true because
When we're at work, Kelsey smells
So
the
bad.
same though every time.
So bad.
The same
they
every
do.
time.
Yeah,
Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
I know.
Because she eats the same thing every day, right?
Well, that'll do it, I guess.
One of our volunteers wants to know who was your favorite volunteer this weekend. Christina.
I was gonna say Christina.
Christina.
Yeah, no one present.
Yeah. Christina kills it. I mean, everybody did a good job.
Yeah.
Everybody was really helpful, and it did it come down to like picking who was my favorite. I mean, Brian.
Definitely not Sarah or Bonnie. They both sucked.
That's not very nice. Someone asked what's in our mini fridge. Did we put all the pizza left over?
Salad.
There's salad and that's weird.
Yeah, the pizza's sitting.
Maddie Fresh wants to know the most disgusting amount of food we've ate in a short amount of time.
Tonight.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, bad decisions tonight.
Yeah. As far as diet is concerned this weekend, I don't eat breakfast ever. So we woke up. You guys were good about eating like an egg white situation thing. But then all day, all we eat is pastries because that's all people brings, and we don't go get food. So then we come back to the hotel at night and we go get dinner, and we're starving, and I eat everything in sight and feel sick.
I've definitely learned with traveling with Chrissy is to, after this trip, I will be using my side of the coin to not let Chrissy make executive decision on ordering the Grubhub food because she orders way too much because she wants to make sure that everyone has enough food, which means that we all overeat, which bless her little heart for being her mother, but I'm gonna be the father in this one and rein it in next time because
Daddy, no!
tonight for 6 people she ordered 12 pizzas, 6 salads, 6 cookies.
I got everybody a
wings.
pizza, a cookie, and a salad.
And there was cheesy bread and wings and
And
cinnamon
cinnamon
bread.
Let me love you guys.
Just let me feed you.
Next question from Twitter.
Would you ever lead an expedition of naked ladies to camp? Yeah?
Yeah, but that's like
a nudist
An
colony?
expedition of naked ladies to where?
to a camp.
A nudist colony. We can
Essentially.
That'd be kind of tight. Go out to the mountains and say, no clothes allowed, we're all
Yeah.
free here.
It could be an Elo retreat.
Yeah.
Free yourself.
Why not?
Yes! Look at Chloe's face. That could be fun.
Mine is how much I fall. I fall a lot when we
Do
ride.
you?
Oh yeah, I
Really?
fall almost every time. I
You
either do
should
the,
bring
I either do the
pads.
splits or I fall on my butt.
Oh, man. Favorite backpacking trip? We talked about that on the traveling
Yeah,
podcast.
let's skip that.
Favorite donut and deadlift combo?
After this weekend, then
Uh,
I can't think of any donuts.
cinnamon, sugar, and conventional.
Jelly filled and behind the back conventional.
Upside down.
Squats.
Squats, yeah.
Someone asked what the best vegan food I ate was in Columbus. I ate none. I had some fucking Lenny and Larry's cookies. It's a fat girl this weekend. Would you ever create a photography book full of naked people in nature? I did the calendar, which was kind of a first step, but I did think to have, because all my pictures for camping are on my iPhone, because I don't bring my camera camping, but I'm going to start bringing it, I think. But I do think taking high quality pictures and compiling them into one book would be really cool.
So she's saying yes.
Yes. God, there's more podcasts coming out. You guys get me through so many boring
I was
work
leaning
days.
so hard.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for
Alright,
listening.
sorry that
to
was
us
so
today.
long. It'll probably be a two-part. Sorry, I could keep talking, but all these girls hate me right now, so we'll go. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.